Sultan of the awliya. In addition to the beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam being present in the dream of Abu Sari, the father of Sayyidina Ghaus rahmatullahi alayhi, other Anbiya alayhi salam also gave this good news to the father, and that all the awliya of Allah Azza wa Jal will be obedient to his son, and his son's blessed foot will be on their necks. So we must have realized how that our Ghaus Azam rahmatullahi alayhi has such a great status and dignity, that just after his birth, the beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who would give the news of the unseen, gave the good news of the great status and dignity of Sayyidina Ghaus Azam rahmatullahi alayhi, and also told his father that his son Ghaus Azam will be the leader of all the awliya. Therefore, after his birth, blessings started to appear, and many amazing events took place after the birth of Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullahi alayhi. And it is something highly unusual that the blessed mother of Ghaus Azam, Sayyidatuna Ummul Khair Fatima rahmatullahi ta'ala alayha, was 60 years of age when Ghaus Azam rahmatullahi alayhi came into the world, an age when women usually lose hope of having a child. And this was the special favor that Allah Azza wa Jal, that the mother of Ghaus Azam gave birth at this age. And Allah Azza wa Jal also blessed every woman of that village, in the village of Jilan, with a son who gave birth to a child that night, in which he rahmatullahi alayhi was born, and every newborn child in that village became the wali of Allah Azza wa Jal. So we're just talking about how the character and personality, this is what Allah Azza wa Jal gave and blessed Sayyidina Ghaus Azam rahmatullahi alayhi and the family with such Islamic wisdom and such piety. And Sayyidina Ghaus Azam rahmatullahi alayhi was still a small child when his father Sayyid Abu Salih Musa rahmatullahi alayhi passed away, and he rahmatullahi alayhi was brought up by his maternal grandfather. And Sayyidina Abdullah Sawma'i rahmatullahi alayhi was one of the pious predecessors. This was his rahmatullahi alayhi's grandfather, and he was one of the pious predecessors of Jilan, who was extremely pious and abstinent. And Sayyidina Ghaus Azam rahmatullahi alayhi received his early education and tarbiyat. And someone asked Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullahi alayhi, when did you realize yourself as a wali? And he rahmatullahi alayhi replied, when I was 10 years old, I would leave home for madrasa for studying, and I would see the angels who would be saying to boys, make room for seating the wali of Allah Almighty. This is the rank of Sayyidina Ghaus Azam rahmatullahi alayhi. We'll now look towards the truthfulness of Sayyidina Ghaus rahmatullahi alayhi, and how in every situation, no matter what the situation, he would always speak the truth no matter what. Shaykh Muhammad bin Qa'id al-Awani rahmatullahi alayhi stated, I was once present in the blessed court of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullahi alayhi. I asked him questions about different matters, and one of them was, Ya Shaykh, on what basis do you decide your matters? He rahmatullahi alayhi responded, I decide my matters on the basis of truthfulness. I have never told a lie and given a false statement. I never told a lie even in my childhood when I used to study in madrasa. And he rahmatullahi alayhi further stated, once I went towards the jungle during the days of Hajj, and I was following a bull, but suddenly that bull looked at me and said, Oh Abdul Qadir, you have not been created for these type of activities. And I came home anxiously and climbed up onto the roof, and I saw that people were standing in the plain of Arafat. And thereafter, I went to my mother and humbly said, so Sayyidina Ghaus Azam went to his mother and humbly said, please give me permission to go to Baghdad so that I gain Islamic knowledge over there. And my mother rahmatullahi alayha asked me its reason, so I told her the event of that bull. And this event moved her to tears, and she bought the 80 dinars which my father, Sayyidina Ghaus Pak's father, had left in inheritance. And I took 40 dinars from them and left 40 dinars for my brother Sayyid Abu Ahmed Jilani rahmatullahi. So on the journey to Baghdad, in order to gain the knowledge of Islam, Sayyidina Ghaus Azam's mother sewed the 40 dinars into this specific jubba which had many patches, and gave permission to go to Baghdad. And she strongly advised to tell the truth in every circumstance, and accompanied me to some distance outside Jilan to see me off. And then she said, Oh my beloved, go in order to please Allah Azza wa Jal. I send you away from me, and now I will see your face on the day of judgment. this is the commitment, the sacrifice that the mother of Sayyidina Ghaus rahmatullahi alayhi went through. And then I left for Baghdad from Jilan along with a caravan. And on the way to Baghdad, the caravan was attacked by 60 robbers who started snatching belongings from the travelers of the caravan, and they robbed everyone, but no robber asked Sayyidina Ghaus rahmatullahi alayhi. And they didn't ask for anything because I seemed to have nothing. From the appearance, it seemed that Ghaus rahmatullahi alayhi had nothing. However, one of the robbers asked him, "What do you have?" I replied truthfully. He spoke the truth and said, "Yes, I have 40 dinars." And he asked, "Where are they?" I told him that they are sewn into a pocket under my armpit. And the robber, he thought of it as a joke, and he continued, he carried on until another robber came to him and asked him the same, and he replied with the same and said with truthfulness that I have 40 dinar on me. And they went to the chief, the robbers went to the chief, and on the order of the chief, the pocket was open and 40 dinars were found in it. And all the people were amazed to see the truthfulness of Ghaus Azam. And when asked before the reason for telling the truth, even in this situation, Ghaus Azam replied, "Before I departed, my mother had made me promise to tell the truth in every circumstance and to not tell a lie ever. I cannot break the promise I have made to my mother." And listening to this, the chief of the robbers, he had said, "You have sincerely fulfilled the promise you made to your mother, but I have been going against the promises for years that I have made to Allah Azza wa Jalla." This is the chief of the robbers saying this. And impressed by this, impressed by the piety of this young traveler who was in the way of Allah Almighty, the chief of the robbers repented of his sins. His followers also repented of their sins and said, "O chief, you are a leader. When we were robbers, now you will lead us to the path of righteousness." And they returned all the valuable back to the caravan. And from the parable that we've just listened to, it shows how strong the desire for Ghaus Azam had for gaining Islamic knowledge, that he not only left his home and traveled vast distances, but this is in order to achieve a noble cause, in order to please Allah, in order to gain the knowledge of Islam. And his mother also made this great sacrifice, letting her son go. It's not easy for a mother to let her son go anywhere, whether it's a job, whether it's for learning, studying the knowledge of Islam. It's not easy for a parent to let her son do this, but this was a great sacrifice that the mother went through as well. And it has also become obvious that from this parable that Sayyidina Ghaus Azam was the embodiment of truthfulness, and he rahmatullahi never told a lie in his lifetime, and he decided his matters on the basis of complete truthfulness and honesty. And one of its main reasons is the proper religious upbringing given to him by his pious mother rahmatullahi ta'ala alayha. And strongly advising us to speak the truth and refraining from telling lies, our beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam has said, "Hold on to the truth, because the truth leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise." A man continues to speak the truth and tries to speak the truth until he is written in the sight of Allah Almighty as the one who speaks the truth very much, refrains from lying, because a lie leads to sin, and a sin leads to hell. A man continues to lie and tries to tell lies until in the sight of Allah Azza wa Jal, he is written a big liar. So we've listened to the account of Sayyidina Ghaus Azam, we've listened to the truthfulness and piety of this great personality. May Allah Azza wa Jal enable us to have this truthfulness in our hearts, to never lie to each other and to never tell lies to anyone. And may He Azza wa Jal allow us to possess and strive in the way of Allah Azza wa Jal to gain the knowledge of Islam by looking at these pious predecessors, looking at Sayyidina Ghaus Azam, looking at his personality and realizing that we should be gaining the knowledge of Islam, we should be truthful in every situation. Ameen. Bijahi Nabi al-Amin wa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. It's now time to perform Sunnah. Jazakallah khair.